So, hey everybody, and welcome to another week of Jonnychipz Weekly. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and in this series, we take a look at the last week from my perspective of the cloud tech community, jumping on into the wonderful world of Azure with the news and updates of the week, and just have a general bit of a chit chat. So, anyway, without further ado, this is episode number 84. It's Friday, the 5th of August, 2022. Let's get on with it. This one's called Changes. So yes, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in again. It is Friday lunchtime here in the UK when this episode goes out. So hope you've all had a fantastic week in work or whatever you've been up to at the moment. I know it's holiday season, so lots of people have disappeared from work and, putting their feet up, relaxing with some sun, sea and sand and things like that. So anyway, hope you've had a great week in work. Like I say, do these videos once a week just to get a general overview of what's been going on in the tech community. Talk a little bit about the bits and pieces that I've got going on in my life. The Welsh Azure user group, which is a great user group that's run by a few people down here in South Wales. So do check that out. And like I say, just generally have a bit of a chit chat around bits and pieces that are going on in the cloud tech community. So without further ado, we'll kick off with some community call outs. Okay, so first up, just wanted to shout out to Thomas Thornton. If you're not following Thomas, he's a great guy in the community doing some fantastic things with his blog, great articles around Terraform and Azure DevOps and things of that nature. Just promoting his Git repo here. He's put a great tutorial lab together around how to get started on your DevOps journey, fundamentally using Azure DevOps, so that package of technology package essentially to help you kind of get into that wonderful world of DevOps from a technology perspective. So he's released a Git repo. It's been out a little while. He's put some updates to it, hence this tweet out this week. Go and take a look. If you are interested in understanding a bit more about what DevOps is, what Azure DevOps is, and how you can get started running your first piece of code through pipelines and getting things set up for you and things of that nature, go and check out this lab guide from Thomas. If you're not following Thomas on Twitter, Tamstar1234, you'll find the link there, but head on over to Thomas's Git repo there, which is Thomas T1906, and check that out. It's called DevOps Journey using Azure DevOps. So yeah, thanks for that, Thomas, and we can take a quick look at it there. You can see that there's a whole heap of resources that Thomas has linked to, getting started, the initial setup of ADO, so Azure DevOps, and getting that set up, creating an organization, setting up your first project and creating your principles, your service principles in order to associate certain accesses to that project, looking at Terraform, creating an AD group for AKS admins, and so on and so forth, setting up our first DevOps pipeline, deploying an application to Azure Container Registry, and so on and so forth. So there's some absolutely fantastic guides in there, some really great instructions in there. Go and check that out, and good luck. And thank you for Thomas for putting that together. Much appreciated. Okay, so next up, Mr. Carl Cook. He's promoting LDNA. The next session at the Limerick.net user group is on the 25th of August, so we've got just under 3 weeks. And it's with none other than the fantastic Mr. Keith Atherton. He's going to be joining them talking about using bot services and creating an Azure bot service in Azure, of course. So go and check that out. Bookmark your diaries now. Put that in there. 8 p.m. and August 25th, 2022. If you're not following Limerick.net, then you might want to follow them on Twitter, Limerick.net. And, of course, thank you to Carl_IT-nerd. For letting us know. On to the next one. So another user group call out, Carl. Thanks for kind of promoting this one, Carl. D-Bolt, looking forward to D joining us at the Welsh Azure user group this month as well. He's speaking at the Next.net Southwest, and he's talking around, securing your web apps or securing your apps with Microsoft's Identity Web, essentially at that user group. August the 9th, so Tuesday, August the 9th. If you're interested in that, do go and bookmark your calendars now. Get that in there. Go and sign up to it through the Meetup page, which I've got the link here, but it's just a very long link. Head on over to .NET Southwest on the Twitters and follow the Meetup link and go and get yourselves RSVP'd. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Next up, Jim Bennett, just off the back of July OT, which, came to an end at the end of July, of course. Jim is just still reminding us that we've got a few weeks left. If you are into IoT and you want to upskill in that area and really get some good, learnings and knowledge in the wonderful world of IoT from an Azure perspective, there is a Cloud Skills Challenge that is open for the next 2 weeks. Now, this was tweeted out a few days ago, so we've probably got just over a week now to finish off this Cloud Skills Challenge. If you are interested, then head on over, follow Jim Bob Bennett on Twitters. Go and find the link to the Cloud Skills Challenge. Again, it's such a long URL. I'm not going to read that out there. Go and find that out and go and take part. Good fun. Next up, just another shout out to the Yorkshire Azure User Group. They had their very first meetup last month. Just retweeted this now, so there's a few dates that they're looking at getting the next event set up, and it's great to see that they're going to an in-person event on the 6th of September. So go and give them a follow on Twitter. So Yorkshire Azure, they've not got a huge amount of followers at the moment. Let's change that. Help spread the word. It's great for folks up north, certainly from a perspective of getting some in-person events, doing a bit of networking, and getting back and saying hello to people in the community. So go and give them a follow, and yeah, look forward to the next event. Shout out to Ryan Murphy. So Ryan is, again, another great guy in the community doing some fantastic things in the wonderful world of compliance and governance and e-discovery. He's put this blog together essentially to look at e-discovery's compliance boundaries. So he's put this blog with some design examples and rationales about how and when you use specific sort of configurations in terms of how do you develop and set up these compliance boundaries. Go and give Ryan a follow on Twitter, Ryan John Murphy 4. And equally, there's his blog there. So it's msftcompliance.com. And if we give that a little bit of a click, you'll see there's that blog article that I'm talking about. Some great information in there. Go and give it a read if you're looking for further detailed information of compliance and e-discovery. Ryan is the person that you absolutely want on your contact list, because I'm sure he'll absolutely be able to help you out in those areas. So thanks for that, Ryan. Much appreciated. Next up, Pixel Robots, aka Richard Hooper, was a guest on the Streaming Clouds podcast, videocast, YouTube cast, whatever you want to call it, this month. Go and check it out, because I didn't watch the video through to the end, but it was a great episode where Richard is really talking about getting started and getting things set up with Azure Kubernetes services. So give that another watch. Richard has retweeted this out, but equally you can head on over to the Streaming Clouds YouTube channel, or if you go onto the Twitters and go to discuss clouds, yeah. I wasn't reading that right then. Head on over, go and find the link to this month's episode. I think it's week, I don't know, yeah, it must be a weekly episode. And go and check it out. That was broadcast only a couple of days ago. So yeah, great episode. Thanks for the tweet, Richard, and yeah, appreciate it. Next up, we have got this announcement. It caught my eye. I use the Azure Mobile App, not now and again, not massively frequently, but it's a great little application to have on your mobile phone and get signed into all your favorite Azure subscriptions, of course. When you're out and about, and literally when you finish a working day and you dive off to have your lunch, or you go out with a family, or whatever it is that you do of an evening, and then that moment passes where you think, didn't switch that VM off, did I? Look, you can have this app on your phone. You can quickly jump on into subscriptions and do that. There's been some announcements and improvements to the application by the looks of things. I've not delved into this in any great detail at the moment myself, but it looks like we've got some updates to the cost management, so we can kind of start to think about controlling our budgets from our mobile devices. Understanding things like bringing things like secure score and cost management to the surface of that mobile app. So yeah, really intrigued and great to see those kinds of advancements. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go and download the Azure mobile app now and yeah, have a bit of fun. Okie dokie. And finally, is it too early? I don't think it's too early. It's never too early to talk about Christmas. It's the summer months, it's August, and Gregor is reminding us that it's only 3 weeks, well, less than that now, 2.5 weeks until the call for speakers opens on this year's festive tech calendar. Look, it's always a fantastic event throughout the month of December that Gregor and Richard put together with the fantastic efforts from everybody across the community. Look, if you're interested, get something submitted to take part, and I know the guys will do their best, and they accommodate everybody effectively. It's a fun, fantastic event to take part of every year. I've been privileged to watch the last few years' events, and they've always been great. Took part in one last year with a post of my own, which was really, really good fun to be part of. So yeah, 3 weeks. It's not too early. Of course, it's not too early. Anyhow, there's our community callouts for this week. Okie dokie, just a quick whistle-stop tour. Just a quick intro as to what's going on in the wonderful world of Welsh Azure. So yes, as I mentioned earlier on, we've got the fantastic Debolt joining us this month on the 17th of August. So what are we looking at now? What's 5th today? Yeah, it's a little under 2 weeks away. We've got Debolt joining us to talk about Azure AD, looking at those decisions between B2B or B2C. How do we make the right choice? What do we need to think about? And we've got the awesome Rolf Schuten joining us to talk about Azure Chaos Studio. So looking at, how do we test our solutions? How do we test our platforms? But look, we're going to delve into a little bit of the Chaos Studio, from chaos to optimum with the Azure Chaos Studio. So if you can, go and get yourselves RSVP'd. I've retweeted this out a few times, or you can head over to @WelshAzure on Twitter, and the RSVP, the meetup link, should be near enough the top of that thread. Really looking forward to it. The usual things. In fact, we're pretty much coming up to our 2-year anniversary now of the user group. So I think we're going to have to try and do something for September. We'll watch this space. Let's see what happens. But for now, that's the Welsh Azure user group and news. Go and get yourselves RSVP'd. Okie dokie. And let's just delve off and talk about a few of the other bits and pieces that I've got going on. Some good community events and, of course, some news on InConvo with. Let's take a look. So first up, save the date. Really looking forward to being part of this session. In fact, it's going to be we're going to record this in a couple of weeks' time, but I'll be there in person on the 20th of September. Like I say, really excited to be part of this session with the amazing April Edwards, with the awesome Esther Bartel, and of course, Barbara. We're kind of spread across Europe talking about all things DevOps. In this episode, really, or this Tech Day event, we're really looking to understand, what it means from an ops perspective, using DevOps. So, do we need it? Do we not need it? All of those good things. And hopefully we're going to explore a few ideas and put some things through on that Tech Day event. So I think it's around about a 2.5-3 hour event on the 20th of September. Starting at 2 p.m. So I think 2 p.m. till about 3:30. I think it goes on until. Like I say, really looking forward to that. It's going to be a great event to kind of get stuck into and be part of. Save the date. Next up, this Friday, which happens to be today, another live stream of the When Ops Meets Dev. So similar themed in terms of operations meets dev, the whole play on words with Azure DevOps and DevOps itself. Robbie and Swami are joining me on the live stream to talk about our project around deploying that microservices-based e-commerce solution onto a cloud platform, using all the different mechanisms, utilities, exploring various different things. And today we kind of delve off into the world of Terraform a little bit, looking at deploying some of that infrastructure and using CI/CD and pipelines, and maybe we'll get a chance to talk about GitHub Actions to deploy that AKS cluster and things like that. Anyway, that's tonight, 6 5 p.m. No, what time is it? Yeah, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. BST. And look forward to seeing you there. Go and RSVP to it. It's on the Welsh Azure Meetup page as well. So it's episode 7. Yeah, they're a blast. Robbie and Stormy are great developers. It's really a privilege to be part of this series with those guys as well. So go and give that an RSVP, and hopefully we'll see you there later on. But following that, as it is Friday, first up, just wanted to give a big shout out to my guest last week on InConver with. So Elkan, huge thanks for being part of the show last week. A great episode. If you missed it, go and check it out. It's in the YouTube playlist below. There's the blog article there associated with it. He's doing some fantastic things in the community, Elkan, and he has been for a while now. It's great to finally catch up with Elkan and say hello. So like I say, if you did miss that, please do go and check it out in the playlist below. But as it is Friday, we've got another episode coming out tonight, and it's with Mr. Robert Strand. So, I mean, Robert, I first got in contact with Robert as part of the Azure Cloud Native user group. He's a great guy. Really a privilege to have him on the show and really chat around a few really good key areas, essentially, not just about careers and tech and things like that, but, dealing with ADHD and, how can that impact you in your work life? And, how has society and the business world become, far more accessible and understanding of, conditions of that nature in terms of it. So, Robert he speaks quite candidly in this episode about dealing with ADHD and, what that means to somebody and, how can we all understand a bit more. So, really great conversation, great guy in the community. Please do join us tonight, 6:30 p.m. So it'll be after the When Ops Meets Dev live stream. Have a little break, grab yourself a coffee, come and join us for the next episode of InConvo with. So yeah, looking forward to that one tonight. But for now, that was Jonnychipz on the side. Okie dokie, so it is that time of the show again where we are going to take a look at this week's Azure news and updates, and there have been quite a few this week. So let's jump straight on over. Let's take a look. And good afternoon and welcome to this week's news of Azure. And I said it wrong. Welcome to the Azure news and updates. Let's get on with it. So yeah, like I say, there have been quite a lot of announcements this week in the world of Azure. We'll kick things off with a GA announcement around Azure public IP6 offerings. They're apparently free from July the 31st, which I was just trying to do a little bit of reading up on that. So I'm going to take that as face value. I guess we've been charged for IPv4 public IPs because, look, they are a limited resource in today's tech world, whereas IPv6 are apparently seemingly endless. We'll see about that. But yeah, there's a lot more IPv6 addresses to go around. So yeah, quite why this has come up. They're free. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. I mean, it's great to see. I've quickly clicked on the public pricing. It doesn't say much about IPv6, but by all accounts, they're free from 31st of July. So like now. Yeah, really interested. I'm gonna have to take a look into that one a little bit more. So, yeah, go and hit me up in the comments if you know the reasoning behind that. But yeah, it's a great announcement. Next up, Azure Store Simple 8,000 1200 users will no longer be supported starting the 31st of December 2022. So if you are using one of those devices, it's going to be ended. So it's an important update. Go and get yourself sorted. I'm sure if you are using those devices, hopefully you will already be well aware of that. Generally available US West 3 price adjustments. Okay, so there's some price adjustments. So it's price reduction, which is always good to see. Starting the 1st of August in US West 3. Public preview, AMD-based confidential VMs for AKS is in public preview. General availability, Nextop IP support for root server. So with that Nextop IP support, you can deploy a network virtual appliance, an NVA, behind an Azure internal load balancer to achieve a key active passive connectivity scenario and improve connectivity performance. So there's some more information there if you want to take it, but you've got that Nextop IP support for root server now is GA. Application Insights in China North 3 and China East 3 is GA. And we've got enforcement mode of machine configuration. It was previously called guest configuration, but that is now generally available as well. Reservation administer and reader roles are now available in the Azure portal. So you can read and manage all reservations when you're using that reservation administrator or reader role in your Azure Active Directory tenant without having to explicitly assign individual reservations to users. So you can assign them to those roles in the portal, which is good to see if you're using reservations. Azure Log Analytics in China North 3 and China East 3 has gone generally available. The Azure Premium, Firewall Premium is now ICSA Labs certified. Okay, I'm not sure I've come across ICSA before, so let's have a quick read. The new IPS, so the Intrusion Prevention System certification from ICSA Labs, is an important IPS certification in addition to the existing firewall certification from the ICSA Labs. And then, yeah, it goes on to talk about what Azure Premium, Firewall Premium SKU is all about. So, great to see. Next up, Azure Monitor Metric Alerts, Dynamic Thresholds, Outage Detection is now generally available with a bit of a description there around what that means. So, go and check that out if that's something that you're looking for. Azure Dedicated Host Support for Ultra SSDs is in public preview. We've got the ability to enable VM Insights using the Azure Monitor Agent, that AMA, is out in public preview as well. And Container Insights portal integration with Basic Logs is in public preview. So Basic Logs offers a low-cost alternative to the standard analytics logs. Azure Monitor Container Insights offers support for basic logging through the Container Log v2 schema. Next up, .NET 7 support in Linux Consumption Plan is in public preview. And we've got Azure App Service Environment v3 support for custom domain suffixes has gone generally available as well. FIPS compliant nodes for Windows in AKS is GA, and we have got AKS no pull user start stop feature has gone GA. So the AKS no pull start stop feature allows you to completely stop specific user no pulls and pick up later where you left off with a switch of a button, saving time and costs. So previously you had to either scale a user no pull and all its workloads down to 0 in order to save costs, or keep it running with a low footprint in order to avoid any kind of redeployment, adding to operational time or wasting those compute resources. So that's great to see. Public preview policy blocking the deployment of vulnerable images. Cool. And we've got Azure load testing is in West US 2 now in public preview as well. Another public preview announcement, Redis JSON available in Azure Cache for Redis Enterprise. And GA, we've got audit log for continuous mode with Azure Cosmos DB. So Azure, the audit log for continuous mode for Cosmos DB allows you to view all of your details of a restore action on the source account and destination account. It allows you to see the restore progress in activity log in terms of which database and containers were restored for a given account. It also helps to validate who performed the activity and the time of when the action was carried out. The audit information is available within the activity log, so there's no need to switch on a specific special diagnostic log for that. So not finally, almost finally, penultimately, we've got public preview migration tool feature with Azure Database for PostgreSQL, Flexible Server, and finally, there's a whole bunch of public preview announcements for August Azure SQL. So there we go. There were our Azure news and updates. Quite a lot this month. Quite very niche and specific updates. I don't know why I said month, this week. So lots of them as well. So yeah, hopefully they were of use to you. But for now, that will be the end of the Azure news and updates for this week. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of the show this week. Thanks everybody for joining in. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if these are reviews to you. Thanks for watching. For now, I've been John Lunn. See you all next time. Bye for now.